Hey everyone, welcome back to What the Freak. Today's going to be a special episode because I'm going to share my why. Why What the Freak? Why What the Freak world? For those who have endured narcissistic abuse, especially some of the worst kinds, which it's all bad. It's just the gaslighting, the emotional and mental manipulation is the worst kind of evil. And it's destroying people's lives and children's lives. And I give a shit about other people. And I know from undoing and taking decades of looking and then finding a way to uncover and undo the effects, it was grueling going through it, and it was grueling for me coming out of it, because it does require taking action, and the effects from undoing the damage that was done from enduring it are well worth it, and much faster than I imagined possible. And the effects, when I realized, because I had the tendencies, like a lot of people that are in patterns, it's learned patterns of this narcissistic mentality, victim mentality, really, that caused me to realize just how damaging and deep the effects are from it. And then, because of undoing the effects of what I endured, and having had those tendencies, and being humble enough and willing to listen to uncover and undo the effects, is how I can recognize it now. And feeling and experiencing the one other end of the polarity, from one end of the polarity to the other, and feeling the effects of the prison and then the freedom on the other side of it, the lasting freedom, made me want to get this out there, because I'm seeing the effects. I'm seeing the results of the effects of narcissistic abuse, which is what led me to realizing how deep this goes and how high up that we've been taught it, and it's been tolerated, and we've been made to believe we have to tolerate it, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting because it's literally just destroying people's lives without care of the results and impact it's having on others. So I, for one, will no longer tolerate it, because I know the damage it does, and I don't tolerate it for myself either. We all make mistakes. It's one thing to make a mistake. It's another thing to keep knowingly doing something that you know is hurting someone because of selfish gain, and doing nothing about it, and being too arrogant to admit that we're all imperfect and all of us require guidance and support. And yes, I get hiding the shame. I get it. I was there. I was in those tendencies. I was doing a lot of the same shit without knowing it. And that's the difference. How do you know if somebody is a narcissist or if they're simply somebody in learned behavioral patterns? What action is taken? Are they just words? Or are they taking action and putting in the effort to do something about the behavior and change it? Or do they just do these pacifying, superficial apologies and never really doing anything about changing it? I see the damage. I see the young, the youth, and the drugs they're addicted to, the trouble they're getting. They're just, I see the effects. I see the effects, and I see what it's doing to people. Everyone. And I, for one, after realizing and recognizing the effects because of the experiences I had and then coming out of it, I could have made excuses. I could have justified all kinds of shit. I did for a long time. I did. I made all the excuses and justifications and cop-outs and whatever I could to just excuse my behavior. Excuse how I was acting and treating others. Excuse why I was making the choices I was making. Did it for a long time. Without even realizing it, really. Until I got dropped on my ass a few times and woke the fuck up and did something about it, because I recognized that I was hurting others. And I cared that I was, even though I was in those patterns, I recognized it. It's what made me want to change. Is because I was realizing, like, oh my God, I hurt that person. Oh my God, I hurt that person. Why did I do that? And looked and did something about it. And it requires some humility. And again, what does that tell you about where people are at? And what they're willing to do about the fact that they may be hurting others. And so it'll reveal. So that either they'll take action and do something about their behaviors, like I did and many others I know did and do. Again, not about being perfect, keep in mind. This is simply damaging, manipulative, hurtful things that are being done, and excuses are just made for it, and it's being tolerated. And that's why it keeps going, and that's why we're where we're at. One, because we've been made to feel we have to tolerate it, and two, many that have endured the effects of it are afraid of the reaction, afraid of the judgment, afraid of the effects of what will happen if they stood up to them. And so I'm here to share the effects and identify the traits so that we can recognize them either in ourselves and do something about it, or expose somebody for somebody else who may be, because of the gaslighting, not even realizing they're in it. It's like Stockholm syndrome. It really is Stockholm syndrome. And it's not necessary, and it doesn't have to be tolerated. We can do something about our choices. We can do something about our shit. And it's a matter of being humble enough to listen and take others into consideration. Because it's stressing people out unnecessarily to an extreme degree, and why people are having difficulty functioning in their life, because they're so overwhelmed and stressed out and have no bandwidth, that it's unknowingly made people a bit self-consumed to where they don't even want to take the time to consider another person because they've got so much else to do. So I get it. I understand. And I've been there too. And at the same time, a lot of it is in our head due to the abuse, due to the effects of the abuse, due to the results of what that level of abuse and the gaslighting has done. It's made us so much more stressed out, and really it can be so much better, is so much better and easier when we release and remove the effects of the internal prison that level of abuse has put on us and put us in. And it's fine. If people don't want to change, that's your choice. Here's the thing. and this is my freak side coming out, I'm just being real and authentic because I give a shit. And I give a shit about the people that maybe aren't aware they're in these types of relationships because of the love bombing. And so what is it narcissists hate most? Being exposed. You're welcome. So the videos I've shared and the videos I'm sharing, you can see my genuine desire to assist people. And at the same time, I'm seeing the effects of my getting this out there. It's triggering people. And it's meant to. Not to upset or offend anybody. It's meant to bring to the awareness, what are the effects? Am I doing that? Okay. Oh, I'm triggered because I recognize that trait in myself. So I'm triggered now. And instead of being like, oh, wait, why am I triggered? People just want to feel exposed. So they're like cockroaches that want to go and scatter and hide because they don't like the light being shown on them. And the effects and what it, most people, how is it that narcissists have any kind of effect on us? Well, a lot of it's because we don't know who we are. We don't know who we really are. And so we're susceptible to what others have, what they say. And so when they say something about us, because we don't truly know who we are at our core, because, I mean, again, this has been going on for a while, okay? We're talking programming. This is the programming. And it's being tolerated even at higher levels because we think we have to tolerate it. And because we don't want to deal with the effects of, if we don't tolerate it, what might happen. And it is, be careful. Be fucking careful about doing this and exposing this, or it's more recognizing it and coming up with an escape plan, because there are some that can be psychopathic. And so I'm not sharing this lightly. I am not sharing this lightly. I am sharing this because I am, after decades of enduring it and how damaging it was for my life and my choices, what it did to me and those I care about and love. And because they were really good at hiding who they are, and I didn't know who I was, I ended up enduring a lot more shit. So we can uncover who we choose to be, and we can also recognize those traits in us. And when we uncover them, that's when we feel the freedom of that prison that the gaslighting put us in. And it also gives us the courage, the strength, the power to say fucking enough. Enough. It has been tolerated enough. So helping to be able to spot the clues can help us recognize, oh, I was judging. Oh, I was assuming. Oh, I was labeling, and I was, manipulating in some way, in a way that we're not aware we're doing. Oh, I was expecting this of them. And it's been going on for so long on so many levels that most of us have these tendencies. Most of us, likely unknowingly, and it's been normalized. That's how I know it's been going on at the top. You see what they're putting on TV and in music, which has an impact on our subconscious mind and is affecting us unconsciously and just perpetuating the bullshit, the abuse. And innocent people are affected. Innocent children are affected. So my why is because I desire people realize that there is a way to uncover the effects, uncover that shame that we've been made to feel, and even a lot that shame that we let others make us feel because they're using it to manipulate us and keep us under their control and under their and for their selfish purposes and gain, while not giving us shit. Well, giving us nothing but shit, really. They're definitely not giving us love or gratitude or appreciation or value, consideration, attention. No, they're expecting and yet not doing a fucking thing in return for others. And yeah, so that's why I wanted to get on here and share my why. Because everyone deserves value and respect and consideration. And we deserve to be out from under this oppressive stress that so many of us are under. We deserve that. We're worthy of that. We are worthy of so much more. Everyone who chooses to see their own worth. And that's where the narcissistic tendencies come in, because there's that insecurity there, that lack of worth there. I see plenty of people that lack worth and they're still good people. At the same time, narcissists lack worth and esteem, and they're all about appearance and masking and putting on fronts and deceiving. And again, I've been there. I did something about it. And now I share how we can spot it and what we can do about it. And really, it's just shifting our language. It's that simple. I know it sounds freaky. It is that simple. There's a process. It's, really uncovering that stuff has been, it's, the effects they're transformative. They're you feel the effects of it. You feel it. And when you get it out of you, it's, what have I been doing to myself this whole time? So a lot of it is self-inflicted, and it's because of the shit that we've been fed and that we're still feeding on, and they're feeding on us in the process. So it's just this epic shit wheel that keeps going because it's tolerated and does not have to be. And the effects of it are so damaging. Look how people it's allowing other people to literally choose our path and tell us what's real and true for us and our journey. And it is for no one. It is no one's right to tell somebody what they should see, what they should believe, what they should think, what they should feel. Nobody. Especially no man anyway, no human. It is our personal journey and connection. And we're judging and we're assuming and we're criticizing and we're condemning and we're doing all these things because somehow it's not the accepted norm or social norm, and it's like, what the fuck is normal anyway? And according to who? Seriously. So this is why letting your freak flag fly is so much more fun, because then there's not all this stress of performing for anybody. I did that for decades. It's exhausting. That's why we're stressed the fuck out, because we've been enduring this shit for so long from people. And for what? What are they doing for us? What have they done for us? Give us breadcrumbs? Help put us down if we celebrate our wins? Because they'll brag about themselves, but if we were to share our successes, our wins or our successes, oh, you're being arrogant or cocky. No, arrogance is not being humble enough to realize that we all have shit to work on. Nobody is perfect. And for somebody else to judge another is being arrogant. To label another is being arrogant and not asking questions and seeking to understand, because you're assuming and judging. Well, they are. So it's all our choice. We can choose to be happy or we can choose to be miserable. The amount of work is the same. And the victim mentality and the language we've been taught to use, by the way, hint, hint, is what is keeping us internal prisoners. So we can simply shift our words, which shifts our focus. I don't want this. I don't want that. Where's your focus going? On what you don't want. So what's going to show up? What you don't want. I do choose, I do desire, even want. These words have power, people. These words are energy and have meaning and subconsciously have a huge effect on us. Clearly. I'm one of the examples of that. Shifted my language, shifted my life. Shifted my life. And the concept is simple. It's simple. And it's powerful. And just because I don't... Look at how we've been taught to only listen to the people with the titles and the letters and the papers. And yet I just shared a reel from Instagram where this woman who had all the titles and the letters and the degrees, bragging and being arrogant about the fact that she thought she was gonna blow this one hillbilly Midwestern guy out of the water, younger, just high school education. He blew her out of the water. She had the lowest IQ of the panel of people that took the IQ test. And here she had this PhD and all these other things. There's an intelligence that comes from experience that is not given enough credit on purpose. Again. So I'll leave that here for now. Just wanted to get on here and share my why. And the things I'm sharing are how we can spot either the things that we might recognize in ourselves that require addressing, and which is okay. I did it. I was doing it. Guess what? I forgave myself and did something about it. The only reason that, they've got us to where we're beating the shit out of ourselves now, which is really why a lot of the narcissism is an issue, and the victim mentality is because we've been taught with how to use our language to not only be punished for making mistakes, judged for making mistakes, shamed for making mistakes, shamed for not living up to other people's expectations of what they think we should be or do, has led us to just continuously doing it to ourselves. And then with the language we're taught to use, just like the Energizer Bunny. Don't follow that white rabbit. That's a phony. It's the self-licking ice cream cone that it doesn't stop until we recognize it. And that's why I'm sharing these videos, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I want people, I desire people to realize how, no matter where you're at, no matter how bad things may seem right now, there is a way of getting out of it very quickly. And I've got plenty of other friends and others that will attest to this. Just look at the Enlifted method. Enlifted.me. And, you know, check them out as well. Check out WTFreq.com. Let's have fun. Stop letting those kinds of mentalities and people ruin our fun and keep us stressed out and overwhelmed. Victim mentality. So reach out. We're here. We desire to assist people in their journey so that they can feel free to let their freak flag fly. Thanks, everyone. To those of you who are enduring this, I am here and I'm sharing this for you and because of you and those of us who have gone through this shit. And for the narcissists, game recognizing game.